Peace and love, family. This is the Hope, HOPE, helping our people elevate YouTube channel. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you're a returning viewer, as I always say, I appreciate you for helping me build this platform. I appreciate y'all checking this content out. We're on that route to 1,000 subs. So make sure y'all hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button. I appreciate the energy y'all been giving me on this platform here. For real, for real. I'm still building. I'm still learning the YouTube algorithm, how this thing works. But without y'all, I wouldn't be able to do this. So today we're going to discuss the mothers of civilization, Moorish goddesses and queens. I ain't going to go too deep. It's just going to be a little something small, something quick. But without holding y'all, we're going to jump straight into it. Peace and love, family.
On behalf of Akuno Call for Bay, you know what I'm saying? Jay, where you at? We're trying to help our people elevate. Hope. HOPE. We're giving them hope. We doing what we gotta do, you know. Every day, one step at a time, man. We gonna make it happen. Helping our people elevate. Yeah. Sometimes I practice focus, thought, and meditate. I'm trying to come with other ways to help our people elevate and seeking knowledge, make me levitate. The lifted mental state is what results from how we orchestrate. This for the family's sake. Let's self-reflect and self-evaluate. And every day, make sure the steps you take, you calculate. Receive a master's fate. I know I can't exist without the hate, but that's okay. I balance that with higher self today. Success is on this way, and after that, my flesh can pass away.
Throughout history, Moorish women have been powerful symbols of resilience and leadership. From the earliest civilizations in Africa to the kingdom of the Moors, these women have played essential roles not only in shaping societies, but in sustaining and transforming them. Their influences as goddesses, queens, warriors, and mothers is woven into the fabric of cultures across the globe. In this video, we'll explore the revered roles of the ancient Moorish goddesses and queens, celebrated for their strength and wisdom, yet whose legacies have often been overshadowed or erased by history. Moorish women have borne the challenges of oppression, colonialism, and patriarchy while upholding traditions and values that empower communities to this day. By celebrating these legendary figures, we honor the immense contributions of Moorish women as the true mothers of civilization whose impact shaped humanity for centuries. I'm not going to go over all the ancient women. I'm just going to name a few in this video. But the ancient African goddesses like Isis or Aset, she was a central goddess in ancient Egyptian mythology, known for her magic, wisdom, and role as the mother of Horus. Then you have Ma'at, the Egyptian goddess of truth, justice, and cosmic order, embodying mortality and balance. Nana Buluku, a prominent deity in West Africa cosmology, considered the mother figure of the universe of Dahomey and the Yoruba myths. Then you have Yemoja, a Yoruba goddess of the sea, associated with nurturing and creation, worshipped across the African diaspora. Moorish African queens, you have Queen Nefertiti, the Egyptian queen renowned for her influence and co-rulership alongside Pharaoh Akhenaten. Her legacy reflects the power women could wield. Makeda, Queen of Sheba, Ethiopian queen celebrated in various religious texts for her wisdom and alliance with King Solomon. Queen Amina of Zazzau, modern-day Nigeria, a 16th century warrior queen who expanded her kingdom and strengthened trade routes across West Africa. Daya or Kahina, a Berber queen in North Africa who led her people to resistance against Arab expansion during the 7th century. Queen Nzinga of Ndogo and Matabamba, Angolan queen known for her military resistance and diplomacy and resistance against Portuguese colonization. The European Moorish connection. And if you don't know, Europe was named after the Moorish queen Europa. And it was the Moors who civilized the so-called Europeans or the pale Europeans, Caucasians, so-called white people in today's times. But it was the Moors who civilized them in Europe and brought them out of the dark ages. African and European Moorish queens and goddesses. Moorish noble women in both Africa and Europe were often educated, politically influential, and deeply respected within their communities. In African societies, queens like Queen Amina of Zazzau, present-day Nigeria, and Daya, the Berber queen of North Africa, embody strength, resilience, and strategic prowess. They wielded considerable influences not only within African communities, but across trade routes and in relations with other regions, including Europe. In European courts, noble Moorish women introduced knowledge and artistic achievements influenced by African and Islamic culture, contributing significantly to what will become the European Renaissance. Similarly, the references for Africans and Moorish goddesses like Isis and Tanit extended across the Mediterranean, with many symbols and attributes being adopted by European religions and mythologies. Isis, originally an Egyptian goddess, was celebrated in Rome, while Tanit, the Carthaginian goddess, was worshipped across North Africa and Spain. These figures symbolize fertility, wisdom, and protection, inspiring reverence that bridged African and European traditions. Moors in Iberia. Let's look at the roles of the Moorish societies during the period of Islamic rule in Spain and he influenced women in both royal and scholarly circles. So we're just going to look at a few women of royal and scholarly circles during the Islamic period of Spain, going up into Europe. Fatima al-Fahari, not a queen, but a remarkable woman of Moorish heritage, who also founded the oldest continually operating university, Al-Qarawiyyin in Morocco. Walanda bint al-Mustafki. Walanda was the daughter of the Caliph Muhammad III of Cordoba, and she became a prominent poet and intellectual in Al-Andalus, which is Islamic Spain. Then you have Lubna of Cordoba. Lubna was a highly educated slave who rose to prominence in the courts of the Caliph Abd al-Rahman III. She was particularly skilled in mathematics, science, and calligraphy. And last you had Sub of Cordoba. Originally from the Basque region, Sub, also known as Aurora, was brought into the court of Caliph of Al-Hakam II and became the prominent figure, not only as the mother of the future Caliph Hasham II, but as a powerful political advisor. Let's talk about the impact and legacy of colonialism. African queens like Nzinga of Ndogo and Mutamba exemplified their first resistance to African women leaders exhibited in the face of European colonial encroachment. Queen Nzinga in particular became legendary for her resilience, tactical genius, and diplomacy when confronted by Portuguese invasions in the 17th century. She fought fiercely to protect her kingdom in what is now Angola, using both military powers and strategic alliance to fend off the Portuguese and other hostile forces. Nzinga's legacy lives on as a powerful symbol for defiance and resistance against colonial oppression. Many other African queens faced similar challenges during the rise of European colonialism. Leaders like Queen Yaa Asantewaa of the Ashanti Empire led military campaigns against the British in the 19th century, even in the face of dwindling resources and powerful colonial armies. Known as the Warrior Queen, Yaa Asantewaa rallied her people in the final stance against British colonizers who brought to annex Ashanti land, protect their autonomy, and preserve the cultural and spiritual practices of their people. These queens faced significant challenges, not only from external invaders, but also from internal political pressure and betrayal, yet they maintained their strength and leadership. Their actions were instrumental in uniting their people and preserving African culture and autonomy for as long as possible, despite the relentless advances of European forces. Stereotypes and oppression. How colonial narratives painted Moorish women negatively, and the complex realities of these women's roles as leaders, diplomats, and warriors. As European colonialism expanded across Africa, colonial narratives and stereotypes about African women were systematically spread to justify exploitation and domination. Colonial powers often depicted African women as submissive, primitive, or lacking agency. These stereotypes misrepresent the diverse and influential roles that African women held, diminishing their contributions as leaders, diplomats, and warriors. In reality, African societies included powerful female figures who wielded authority and influence. Women such as Queen Nzinga, Queen Yaa Asantewaa, and Queen Amina of Zazu led armies, negotiated complex treaties, and protected their communities from colonial forces. Many African societies recognize women as vital in government and decision-making, with queens and royal women often playing pivotal roles in both peace and war. Colonial authorities frequently disregarded their history, instead promoting the idea that African societies were backwards or in need of civilization. This betrayal served to undermine the power structure where women were significant authorities, thus facilitating colonial dominance. These negative depictions also contributed to the long-lasting stereotypes that continue to impact perceptions of African women today. However, the reality of African women's roles was more dynamic. African queens and female leaders embodied complex roles as protectors, advocates, and warriors, balancing diplomacy with warfare, leadership with nurturing, and authority with community-centered values. Their legacy stands as a powerful testament to their resilience and their agency, showing that despite colonial narratives, African women were anything but powerless. So showing you that these Moorish queens have always been around, they've always stood by their men, whether it was nurturing, whether it was in battlefield, whether it was in healing, whether it was mental, spiritual, whatever. This is why we must uplift fallen humanity, as Prophet Noble Drew Ali tells us. If you ever read the Willie Lynch, Making of the Negro Woman, you'll see in there where it talks about she's the most important key to breaking her. If you look at our women today, and this is not a bash to our women today, but sisters, this is to remind y'all how powerful y'all are and how important y'all are. The duality of representation, good and bad. Resilience amidst adversity. Overcoming colonial and patriarchal structures, Moorish queens and goddesses like Queen Nzinga, Yaa Asantewaa, and others faced intense adversity, from colonial invasions to restricted patriarchal norms. Despite this, they used their roles as leaders, warriors, and diplomats to protect their people, often challenging European armies, forming alliances, and guiding their societies through crisis. These women defied negative stereotypes imposed by colonial powers, which attempted to diminish their influence by portraying them as weak or subordinate. Through strategic thinking, courage, and the unwavering commitment to their people, they transcended these limitations, leaving legacies that still inspire resilience and self-determination today. Modern perceptions versus ancient legacy, misrepresentations and true legacy of Moorish queens and goddesses. Modern media and scholarship have sometimes misrepresented powerful African queens and goddesses, either by romanticizing their stories or overlooking their full impact. While recent portrayals often celebrate their strength, they have reduced these figures to symbols, overlooking the depths of their leadership, diplomacy, and complex societal roles. Colonial era narratives initially cast many of these women as passive or exotic, stereotypes that have persisted into modern representations. Today, while they are more widely seen as icons of strength, their political strategies, intellectual powers, and cultural contributions are often underrepresented. Scholarship, too, has sometimes focused on sensational aspects of their lives, neglecting their cultural legacies and the cultural wisdom they upheld. Understanding these figures accurately requires honoring both their resilience and nuances of their leadership. By acknowledging their full historical roles, we can appreciate their contributions not just as the symbols of strength, but as integral architectures of African civilization and cultural heritage. Legacy and influence today. The legacy of ancient Moorish goddesses and queens continue to resonate deeply within modern Black women, inspiring empowerment, resilience, and a sense of cultural pride. For many, figures like Queen Nzinga, Ya Santue, and the mythical goddess Isis symbolizes their strength and defiance in the face of oppression, qualities that remain deeply relevant today. Artists often draw these historical figures incorporating symbols, imagery, and themes from ancient African iconography celebrating Black womanhood. Visual art, music, and literature frequently evoke the strength and dignity of these women, portraying them as symbols of both divine and earthly power. By embracing the aesthetics and stories of these queens and goddesses, modern creators honor their ancestors while also reshaping how Black women are seen and represented. In activism, these historical figures inspire resilience and serve as a reminder of an unbroken lineage of powerful women who fought for justice and freedom. Many activists invoke these ancestors as symbols of their enduring resilience, strength, and courage, reinforcing the belief that Black women are inherently powerful leaders both in the past and today. By reconnecting with these cultural roots, Black women today can find strength and affirmation in knowing that they come from a lineage of leaders, nurturers, and warriors. This legacy not only offers a profound sense of identity, but also affirms their right to take up space, to lead, and to be celebrated. Enduring the strength of Moorish women. So yeah, I'm talking about you, sister. The enduring strength of Moorish women symbolized by historical figures like Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, Queen Nzinga, and Ida B. Wells embodies a legacy of resilience, intelligence, and power that continues to inspire modern movements. These women face extreme adversity, yet use their voices, wisdom, and courage to fight for freedom, justice, and equality. Harriet Tubman risked her life repeatedly to lead enslaved people to freedom through the Underground Railroad, showing incredible bravery and tactical intelligence. Sojourner Truth, with her powerful speeches and advocacy, highlighted both the struggles of Moorish men and women, laying an early foundation for intersectional awareness. Queen Nzinga of Angola fiercely resisted Portugal's colonial forces, illustrating Black women's roles in defending their lands and people. Ida B. Wells challenged racism and sexism as a journalist and activist, fearlessly exposing the horrors of lynching. These figures remind us that Black women's strength goes beyond survival. It involves transforming societies. Today's movements, from Black Lives Matter to campaigns for gender equality, reflects this lineage, drawing on the courage and resolve to the historical icons. By refusing to be silenced and champion their communities, Black women today continue to embody resilience and intelligence, shaping a more just and inclusive world. So, sisters that are out there doing the work, I appreciate y'all. Sisters, regardless if you with the NOI, the FOI, you with the MST of A, or you just a conscious sister giving information. I salute all y'all. When y'all out there in the community doing the work, I salute all y'all. For the sisters that's lost out here, I hope y'all come. I hope y'all find this video or find something that helps heal y'all because we need y'all as well. And on that note, if you made it this far, I want to say I appreciate you for checking the content out. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If you're a viewer and you've been watching and you ain't subscribed, what you waiting on? Peace and love, family. Catch y'all on the next one.